When we grew up, we were really trained at being creative. I mean, in our play as kids. Maybe until we get to the school age and everything kind of is changed, and we're kind of forcing ourselves and being forced into unlearning the playfulness and the creativity. And then when we grow up, I mean, we're trying again to become creative. So if we could just extend what we learned as kids and don't unlearn that would obviously be very beautiful. Lego Serious Play started around 10 years ago. The interest from the then CEO and still the owner of Lego was to find a way to include the employees more in the processes, using their insights and knowledge more in the process of strategy making. It didn't actually in the beginning include Lego bricks until somebody one time said, well, why are you not using Lego bricks for this kind of process? And then up to about 6 years ago, then somebody said, well, this seems to be working really good. Why are we not kind of offering this to the outside? We have different what we call applications of Lego Serious Play into strategy development, organization, team development, and individual development, you can say. It's been then also used and applied in many other scenarios for product innovation kind of scenarios. If you take a normal meeting situation, 8 people sitting down for maybe a couple hours to discuss a topic, we all know the sense of, everybody has their agenda, everybody is mostly thinking about what they want to say, and they're not really attentive or listening too much what the others are saying. It's mostly a few people that are speaking, and you may have people sitting around which has really good knowledge, but maybe not be so comfortable with communicating or interrupting. Core of all these processes actually is to use the tool to give people a way to have a deep reflection on a topic and then have an effective dialogue around it. Using both the 3D of what you build, but then also the story making and the metaphors that we're working with. We know from research that when you get your hands involved, there's both an emotional charge, but there's also, it's kind of like a Google search machine. You grab into some of the knowledge, the tacit knowledge, and you get that into your model and your stories. When you share those stories with the others, everybody's attentive, nobody can kind of interrupt. In a much quicker way, get people to understand what the others are thinking. In everything we do, we must admit that there is the emotional part also. I think in many or in most kind of situations we are not allowing ourselves to have the emotions involved there. This is something you cannot avoid in a Lego Serious Play workshop. If you take the team development kind of organization development, it's something that's actually helping bond and glue together the team, that you can also express the more emotional parts of it. In that process, we typically see 2 wow or aha effects, and one is that, wow, I didn't know I knew so much about this. Again, back to the creativeness, getting your hands involved, the hands-on, minds-on learning around this. And then the other part is actually coming from the others when you're explaining your model or your story. They say, wow, I've been working with this person for 10 years or 5 years, and I didn't know that was the way he kind of looked at it. Now I really understand what he's talking about. Then you connect these things, and when you have all this kind of worked out, you have the whole complexity of your world out there on the table, you can actually start playing out some scenarios. So you can play out your future without having the risk involved. You can play out the reality before it kind of happens.